Good morning, everybody. This is Matt Liebsch from Pioneer Midwest, and I'm going to be doing some commentating this morning on the and what I was thinking leading up to the race and warm up and picking skis, and just last minute thoughts that go through my brain as I'm getting ready to start the Birkie. Super excited to talk through stuff, but as you can see from this video right now, I'm in the white hat and I just ducked under the Birkie's start line. I think they want us to load from the side. I've been doing enough Birkies. I just walk straight at the start line. Doing some last minute chats right there. I've got my all my warm ups on, and we're probably, I think, if I remember back, we were just what wax we were maybe going with. So each of us, we tested a bunch of skis the day before, and trying to determine if we're going to go with a colder pair or a warmer pair, and just what feels good. I spent some time right before this doing my warm up and trying a few different skis off just to the south of the start area. There's a warm up loop, and if I ski far enough out on there, we can get some done. I try not to test my skis where the masses have been skiing it in, because it's just going to glaze and grease up and ski a lot different than what we're going to see out on the trail, which is only a handful of people have skied, women, and some of the founders go first, but that's not really enough people skiing over the snow to change it too much. But everybody warming up for the rest of the elite wave and wave 1 and 2 that are skiing in the woods. If you go and test skis just in a glazy section, it's gonna ski a lot warmer than what I'm gonna see during the race course. So I think Brian went with a little bit colder pair just because I've been burned in a few Birkies where I've chose a pretty cold pair because they feel very good at the start, and as the day warms up, the skis are just not running as well in the second half of the race. So I went a little warmer than some of my peers chose, and was just until the halfway point, and then help the skis. So trying to think who looks like my employee Jacob Ellington was also in a Pioneer suit. But yeah, I'm going to town, stuffing everything in my bag here. So the I'm definitely quite warm here. So I just finished my warm ups a few minutes before this, and I generally my warm up for marathons, I ski for maybe 10-15 minutes easy, and then I do 5 or 6 45-second what I call open. They're not all out. They're slightly above marathon race pace. The goal is to get some some blood moving around the body and get some deeper breathing going on, and just warm up the body, especially try to deal with that initial surge of lactate. When we start, we're just the adrenaline's going, and a lot of marathons, like the first K or 2, it goes really very quickly. So if you're not warmed up and prepared for that, the muscles are a little colder, you're not going to deal with that surge of lactate. And with the international field we had this year, was Berstrand was on the start line, and some of the other American sprinters. You got to be ready right from the gun. So I'm trying to get as warmed up as just if I was doing a 10 or 15K race, and then we generally settle in. But ideally, I finished my warm up about 10 minutes before race start, and I'm a little different than maybe a lot of guys, but I try to change every single piece of clothing I have. So I ran to the VIP tent. They give you a little card if you're in the front of the elite wave, which gets you into this little warming tent, which is really, really nice to to have access to warm, dry space before a start. So it's kind of easy to get dressed up. I get a dry top on. A lot of other local Midwest marathons, you might just have to do that out of your car. Yeah, I'm going right by the pole, and I think maybe that's what I was asking Brian about, is whether we're going headband or hat, and yeah, just looking at my body language, there's some nervous energy going on right now. I'm just walking around and pacing a lot, trying to keep the body warm. Doing some leg swings there, and I think I mentioned to the volunteer there to make sure they pull the string real hard. So I had one Birkie, maybe my fourth or fifth, where the volunteer pulled the string to open the start gate, and it went through their hands, and the gate was left closed. Everybody else got to go, and that was quite an experience to to wrestle through there. But yeah, just some nervous energy right now as we get ready to go, and I can hear Dennis in the background announcing. And this is the kind of time frame right before the start where I'm thinking how my start track looks and looking at me. I'm real familiar with Brian. He's best friend and training partner, so I know how he's gonna ski, and he's not gonna break my pole. But I think that's why I lined up next to him. And then thankfully, it looks like I've got a ski pole or a start gate pole to my right, so I should avoid having anybody step on my stuff. Morning. There's Kyle Bratchard and Ian Pershia. Ian was second in the race. He had a really good one. See Bjornson's suit there with the stars and stripes, cane to cane. So I'm looking down both sides of the start line, seeing who I know and who I might ski with and avoid skiing by. So there's just some people that have a higher likelihood of breaking your stuff than others. So I'm kind of making sure I'm not Euro, since I don't know them as well as my U.S. guy. Avoid skiing right next to Europeans. I don't have a history of skiing that much with them, but it was a beautiful day. So right, and usually my game plan at all marathon starts is I go out pretty hard. I always try to win the start of the race. I don't need to be in front in a kilometer from now, but out of the start of the race, I like to go about as hard as I can. I just have a history of breaking poles, so if I get out in front and skiing the first minute of the race near the sharp end of the race, I'm less likely to break a pole. And I usually try to then peel off and get to the right or left side of the trail. We form a pretty large group. It's pretty unnerving to ski right in the middle of that scrum. So then you sides of you, and that can be dangerous. So I like at least one ski pole, quote unquote. So I wasn't going to be able to relax here off the gun, because there's a cash preem at 2.3 kilometers, and that's going to keep the pace pretty honest. Here's the start. Look at that chaos. I love it. I'm center of the screen, just to the left a little bit, and I had a really nice start there. So I'm in the front where I plan to be. That is avoiding the possibility of breaking poles. So, seeing the camera guys run out of the way. The just something I'll mention I do is right before, so with 30 seconds, I try to take some very, very deep breaths of air through the mouth and then out through the nose, and just try to get the lungs expanded fully, ready for that initial surge. So, but here I'm. Looks like I'm on the camera right side of the trail. So skier left side of the trail right now, tucking kind of in second. And Brian's right behind me in the yellow Team Greg hat. See some AP guys there. One of the French guys, I can see their suit. They got the white, dark suit with the white band around the leg. But yeah, I haven't actually watched the video from this year's race. I just didn't realize how much of a group there is that stays together for a while. So usually by the time my aunt's back, after the preem, the group is already generally smallerish, so maybe 20 to 30 guys, and that's just because some of the accelerations that happen as we approach the preem just goes so fast, it just kind of breaks that rubber band on his back. But yeah, I'm Bjornsson's on the far left side of the screen. I'm on the far right, and I'm probably don't need to be in the front right now, but I felt pretty good, and my skis were running really well. We do a wax service for the through the store, and some of the guys that do all the waxing for that overnight to make sure my skis are good to go for the next morning. So appreciate we got to do a big cut for Corey, Joe, and Jacob and Pat for working really hard on all of our customer skis and my skis this year. My skis were very good. I wish my body was raised, but we were down a little bit on staffing at the store, and was an extremely busy week, and we grew our wax service a ton. So I was helping wax skis at the wee hours of the morning, a few too many nights leading up to the race. But I was my plan was to stay on the group as long as I possibly could. I knew the pace would be very fast with Deer Hug and Glorstrand, the Norwegian boys coming over, and they're both top level world class skiers, so they would keep the pace very honest. You can see one of the Norwegians now is at the front, and they are pushing hard, and we went kind of to a bunched up group, and you can see how much we just spread out in that 5-10 seconds of effort. I will have to say, though, I really enjoy the new start, middle of an airport, and skiing the flat power lines for 2-3K, and then turning and hitting those hills really aggressively. The nice thing is the course is wide here. It's in the tree. It feels like a ski trail, and that the hills are not as steep as the old course where you went flat along the power lines for 2-3K, and then you just took a hard left turn and you just started, climb. We still have some head walls to climb, but it's not nearly as aggressive. And we're on the power lines right now, and this is who I see on the far right side of the screen. I think that might be Benoit, one of the other French guys. My race strategy here was, it looks like I'm back in 10th place, and my goal was, I got a clean start, and didn't break my pole in the first kilometer, which means I'm probably on the safer side of things. I am skiing right now in the middle of the group, which is not ideal, and I'm double poling right now. I didn't remember at this point in time in the race I was looking to get into a line on the left or right side of the course. And I know right now that the preem is coming up, so we're skiing quick with pace. but it still nose breathing here. Like there's no stress. There's no the body is not in distress at all. And guys that would go for the preem, I see Brian Gregg on the right side of the screen, and then Julian Locke, I believe, in the white headband, and kind of middle of the screen in second place. He's going to be going for the preem, and I knew these guys would go pretty quick to try to win that cash prize. I don't know if it's $500 or $1,000. And last year I was in the hunt for it, but I kind of pulled up with maybe 30 seconds to go. It just I wanted to save my legs. I'm not that great at flushing lactate. They're starting to ski with some pace now. I just really didn't want to blow my legs out and sphere here. We see some high pace going, jump skating, and I'm, if I follow that move, that's just gonna wreck me for the next 48 kilometers. So I was content to just sit behind some of the workhorse guys. I think I was skiing behind Ian Torshia or Kyle Bratchard at this, just catch a ride from those guys to bridge back up to the group. And these guys are gonna back off the throttle once they go through the preem. Likes to try to win this preem every year. He's really good at flushing like a prolonged slow burn instead of the over under. So I just know my strength as a skier, and I know if I step across the line very aggressively, sometimes it doesn't come back. So I'd rather bring it kind of up to that pace and hold it. And I didn't even see how much of a lead he had with that preem during the race. I was far enough back that I didn't even see how much the gap was. I wasn't that worried though, because I was skiing right near, so the Norwegian boys were back in the main group, and I wasn't. Not to say that these guys couldn't hold some gap like that, but I wasn't. Norwegian boys. That's another race strategy I have, is I kind of know who the stronger skiers are. And those guys are going to be at the sharp end of the race, at the end of the race. So, it kind of drops some of the pressure of trying to cover every single break. And a ski marathon ends up being more like a bike race. And so you don't want to chase every single attack. But if you mark a few of the fast guys, then you can have them kind of pull you along.